Hi, my dear children. Today we are discussing the second part of the second lesson of our literature reader, Nelson Mandela, Long Walk to Freedom. As we already said, Long Walk to Freedom is the autobiography of Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela was the great revolutionary leader of South Africa who was elected as the first black president of South Africa, and the election conducted, the first democratic election conducted in South Africa, the political party of Nelson Mandela, the African National Congress, won 252 seats out of 400 seats, and he was elected as the first president representing the black people of South Africa. And also we discussed in our last class, apartheid was a social evil which was prevalent in South Africa for centuries, and it was come to an end by the struggle of Nelson Mandela and many other political leaders of that time. And Nelson Mandela had to survive 30 years in the prison as a part of the freedom fight. And here, in this extract taken from the autobiography of Nelson Mandela, he is telling about the inaugural function or the installation ceremony of the first democratic government in South Africa. And he is telling here many international leaders and dignitaries had come to pay respect to him and to congratulate to him before the installation ceremony, and he was very happy by seeing the international leaders in his own soil, because for centuries the countries were not keeping a relationship or political relationship or diplomatic relationship with South Africa because of the apartheid prevalent in South Africa. So we are moving to the text part. On that lovely autumn day, I was accompanied by my daughter Senani. On the day of the installation ceremony, Nelson Mandela came to the mounted the podium with the company of his daughter Senani, and first in the swearing ceremony, the second deputy president of South Africa, Mr. de Klerk, who represents the white people, and the first deputy president, Mr. Thabo Mbeki, representing the black people, sworn first. They took the pledge first. Then it came the turn of Nelson Mandela, and he pledged that he would obey and uphold the principles of the new constitution of South Africa, and to devote his own life to the people of South Africa. Then, to the assembled guest and watching world, he said, in his own words, we can read there, today all of us, by our presence here, confer glory and hope to the newborn liberty. The newly elected government, the reign of the newly elected government, Nelson Mandela refers it as the birth of a newborn liberty, Okay, then out of the experience of an extraordinary human disaster that lasted too long must be born a society of which all humanity will be proud. Nelson Mandela was describing the policy of apartheid prevalent in South Africa as a great disaster or great disaster of the humanity. And he now says with the new dawn of South Africa will be proud of a matter of proud to all humanity thereafter. Then we who were outlaws not so long ago have today been given the rare privilege to be the host to the nations of the world on our own soil. As we already said, the countries were keeping a distance from South Africa till then because of the policy of apartheid prevalent there. They were not interested to have a diplomatic relationship with this South Africa, and they were considered as outlaws by many of the countries. And now Nelson Mandela is happy to get an opportunity to host such a great, enormous ceremony of installation, having the political or international leaders of many countries as their guest. Then we thank all of our distinguished international guests for having come to take possession with the people of our country of what is, after all, a common victory for justice. He took the opportunity to thank all the international leaders who came to witness or who came to congratulate the victory of the African National Congress. Then he says, at last we have achieved our political emancipation. Emancipation is a new word, emancipation. See? Emancipation. Emancipation is a new word, that is a freedom from restriction. He's telling at last we have got the political emancipation or the political freedom, and we pledge ourselves to liberate all our people from the continuing bondage. Now he not as a leader, he as one of the people of South Africa pledges to liberate the people of South Africa from the bondage of poverty, suffering, deprivation, and the discrimination based on color and race and gender also. And also he swears again and again that never and never again shall it be that this beautiful land will again experience the oppression of one by other. This land will never experience, or the people of my land will never experience the oppression of one by other. No, everybody will be free here. Nobody will be there to oppress my people from today onwards. That was the pledge taken by Nelson Mandela on that ceremony. Okay, the sun shall, he is telling, the sun shall never set on so glorious a human achievement. That was he was telling. In the history of South Africa, such a great moment will never come again. This moment was such a great moment, and he was concluding his speech by telling, let freedom gain, God bless Africa. Thus, there we stop today's lesson, and we learned new words today: emancipation and deprivation and discrimination. You already know, and deprivation. Deprivation means state of not having one's rightful benefits. State of not having one's rightful benefits, and here he is telling the people of South Africa will be free from the bondage of deprivation also. Here we entered the lesson. I have given you some comprehension questions, and you have to do that and to send to me today itself. Thank you.